What's going on, everybody? It's Cheshire Gengar back at you again with another blackwing profile. But instead of the profile this time, it's going to be the combo video that I had requested on the last profile. So same deck list as the last profile, but this is going to just be a couple of test hands. I think I'll do 3 test hands, nothing too crazy. I just want to show you the consistency and how well we can do with it. Hopefully, we don't, brick trying to do a test hand and such, but we'll go ahead and shuffle it up and just hop right into it. It's the same exact profile that you saw in the last video. I'll just go ahead and power shuffle this real quick, and while I do so, go ahead and hit that like, go ahead and comment and subscribe, and let me know what other kind of builds of this you want to see, or what else you'd like to see. I've got Vanquish Souls over here to my right. I've also got some ideas for Sword Soul, as well as some pretty good ideas for various other decks. So, let me know what you'd like to see. I'm also planning on doing stuff on Dueling Book in order to continue the Let's Build series and make it a little easier on myself so I don't have to have the physical copies of cards. So if you have a deck idea and you would like to see me build it and use my methodology in order to build a deck, let me know what decks you'd like to see, and the one that gets the most the most likes in the comment section will be the next one that I build and put on Dueling Book, and make a video of that so that you can see it, how I build it, test it, make some tweaks to it, and test it again. So yeah, let me know what you want to see, and we'll get right into the test hand. So the first card is Vada, Whirlwind, Chandra, Simoon, and Steam. Okay, I mean, if you didn't already know, we're off to a fantastic start. Like, there's pretty much nothing we can't do with this hand. The only thing that stops this is Droll and Lockbird and maybe Nibiru. Like, even through Nibiru, we're still going to end on something. But Droll and Lockbird would be the only thing that really stops this hand. So, of course, we're going to go ahead and activate our Whirlwind. And then we're going to go ahead and activate the Simoon. We're going to banish the Steam for cost so that we can bring it back later. And we're going to go ahead and get a second copy of Whirlwind. I've got 1 Whirlwind and 2 Remolino Oscuro. I need 1 more copy of ultra rare Spanish Black Whirlwind. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and normal summon the Simoon off of his effect. Remember, that does not count as your normal for turn. That's going to trigger both Whirlwinds. I had to explain this so much during the last tournament, especially against an Trap Tricks player, because they were very confused how I kept chain blocking everything. So I'm going to chain block the first Whirlwind with the second Whirlwind, and we're going to search a Sudri. And we opened the Vada, so we don't really need to open the Vada. We can go ahead and search the Chinook so that we still have the Harmattan in the deck in order to send with the Vada. So now we just search a hand trap, which is fine with us. You could also search Gale as well as some other things. We'll do the full send. We'll go ahead and search the Gale instead. So yeah, we'll search the Gale instead of the Chinook, which, I mean, with this hand, we can search it again later anyway, because we're getting a ridiculous amount of searches. So what you do want to do and keep in mind when you have the double Whirlwinds is that you want to search the highest attack points that you can with your extra search. So, of course, the Moon searching Sudri as part of the combo, but also search the Gale, just because later on you're going to normal summon the Sudri and you can search all those lower ones anyway. So now, even if we get Droll and Lockbird on this with this hand, it actually just wouldn't matter. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and we're going to normal summon the Sudri, and we're going to go Chainlink 1 Sudri, Chainlink 2 and 3 are both of the Whirlwinds. And so Chainlink 3 is going to search for one with less attack than Sudri. Now we'll go ahead and grab a Chinook. We'll also go ahead and grab a Vada, even though we already have one. And then we'll go ahead and grab a card that says Blackwinged Dragon. So we'll grab the Shamal. We'll shuffle that up, and all three of those come to our hand. Yeah, double whirlwind on the field is actually nuts. We'll go ahead, and what I usually do is as soon as I'm done searching, while I still have my deck in my hands, I just be like, I'm gonna go ahead and activate Sudri's effect if you don't have a draw to respond to that search with. So I'll go ahead and dump the Sudri and put the Black Feather Whirlwind straight from deck to field. Next, we're going to go ahead and special summon a Vata, and Vata is going to go ahead and use its effect in order to use itself and non-tuners from the deck so that they all add up to 8, because we have to make Blackwing Dragon. The easiest way to explain it to your opponent is going to be it's branded fusion specifically for Blackwing Dragon. We're going to dump we have the level 2 Vata, a level 2 Harmattan, and then we're going to have the level 4 Zephyros, and that's going to equal our 8 in order to make our Black-Winged Dragon. We'll put that right there where Vata was. On his summon, we're going to activate the Black Feather Whirlwind, and that's going to bring back the Vata from our graveyard and summon itself. Also, what we're going to do now is we're going to activate Zephyros's effect. We're going to return the Black Feather Whirlwind back to our hand as cost. Remember, that is cost to bounce the face-up card. Then he will summon itself. So even if you get Bestialed on the Zephyros, the Whirlwind still gets bounced to your hand, so you can go ahead and reactivate that. And all you would have lost is the Zephyros, but at this point with this hand, we've got enough extenders to not care. So next, we're going to go ahead and take the Vata and the Sudri, very specific. We're going to go ahead and synchro into our Nathung. We synchro into Nathung here because we want to get its effect as chain link 1 or 2, because both of these are going to trigger on the summon. So if you don't want them to stop this or your grave effects, all three of these, the Shamal, those Nathung, and the Feather Whirlwind, have the same trigger. So we're going to go ahead and make Shamal in the graveyard be chain link 1, Feather Whirlwind be chain link 2, and we make Nathung chain link 3 to burn them for 1,000. So if they're going to they're not going to be able to respond with Ghost Bell, which is getting more popular, in order to stop these two. So we'll banish the Shamal for cost, targeting the Sudri, and the Feather Whirlwind will target the Vata, and then the Nathung will just burn them for 800. So Sudri comes back to our hand, Vata comes back to the field, burns them for 800, and now we keep the combo going. To clear some space on the field, we're going to go ahead and we're going to synchro summon. Actually, you might not even need to synchro summon there. That is the better idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to use Samoon and Vata in order to link summon into Y-Strix, because all we're locked into right now is Dark from the extra deck because of Sudri, or no, Samoon. So after we make Y-Strix, Y-Strix is going to special summon a level 4 Dark-Winged Beast from our extra deck. That level 4 Dark-Winged Beast from our extra deck is going to be Shamal. Let's see. After we do that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to special summon out our Gale the Whirlwind, and then we're going to use Gale and Zephyros in order to synchro summon into. Oh, wait. Let me make sure I'm not making a mistake there. No, I am not. We're good. we're going to use those two to synchro summon into a. You can either do Rikery or Hawkjoe. It's really entirely up to you which one you want to do first. But I like doing Rikery first just to be able to pop your opponent's stuff. And then we'll make Hawkjoe later, and that'll give us Rikery as a target on top of the Nathung for additional recovery plays with Hawkjoe's effect. So if you're going second trying to do this combo, then you'll be able to get 2 pops with Rikery's effect, and then bring him back with Hawkjoe, pop again. But that was mostly just to clear up space, because now we're going to use Nathung's extra normal summon Sudri, go Chainlink 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to search for the rest of our cards, because honestly, we are running out of search targets at this point. What we're going to do is we're going to search for less attack than him is actually Vada. So we'll have 2 Vadas in our hand, so we can normal summon and special summon one. We actually don't even have another target with that opening hand we had. Normally you'd search for Sharnga, but we opened Sharnga. And then, so we'll only use one of the whirlwinds, and we'll also go ahead and search a card that says Blackwing Dragon with the Sudri, and that's going to be our where to go to. We'll search another copy of Feather Whirlwind. Now, right now, our zones are getting pretty clogged, which is fine, but we're going to have a way to actually unclog them ourselves. So, right now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go Nathung and Ystrix into Rusty Bardish, clear up some more space. And then also we're going to go special summon Sharnga, and we're going to go ahead and activate the other Feather Whirlwind, use Sharnga and Sudri to synchro summon into our Boreas Storm. Boreas Storm's effect's going to activate as Chainlink 1, and Feather Whirlwind's going to activate as Chainlink 2. So, what we're going to do there is we're going to have Boreas Storm. I see the mistake I made. You do not summon Shamal off of that Vada effect, or that off of that effect earlier. You summon Sudri. That was my mistake. You keep the Shamal in the deck. Same combo. Shamal was just sitting there. You just summon Sudri instead, because you need the non-tuner for now. Then you'll summon Shamal later when you're ready to make the Borreload Savage Dragon. So, with the Sudri on the field, Boreas Storm's going to Foolish Burial to change his level, and the Feather Whirlwind is going to bring back the Steam. Normally you would have sent the Steam with the Boreas Storm, but at this point we don't actually need it. So Boreas Storm can dump pretty much anything to change his level. So we'll go ahead and dump a Shamal to change himself to a 4. And then the Feather Whirlwind is going to go ahead and special summon out the Steam. Then the Steam and the Sudri are going to synchro summon into a Hawkjoe. And what's going to happen here is we're going to go ahead and use the Rusty's effect. That's going to let us dump a Raider's Wing in order to set the PK Speller Trap. So we'll dump the Raider's Wing, to set the rank up magic. And then we'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and overlay these two. And we'll be able to turn those two into an Arsenal Falcon. With Arsenal Falcon on the field, we'll go ahead and use his effect to detach one in order to bring back, in order to special summon out a level 4 dark winged beast from the deck. And the level 4 dark winged beast we're going to summon out is going to be another copy of Sudri, just in order to use the Borea Storm, since we didn't need to bring back the steam in order to use its effect. After that, we're going to, if you want to, when you summon the Arsenal Falcon, you can go ahead and use Rusty's effect in order to pop the whirlwind that Simoon placed, so that you don't take the 1,000 in the end phase, which is fine because it was going to die and burn you for 1,000. So popping it yourself and saving you 1,000 is entirely okay, since you didn't have a way to bounce it anymore, since we used Zephyros for other reasons. But now that you have your tuner and your non-tuner, and you have your link monster in the graveyard, you can use Steam's effect to tribute a monster in order to special summon himself out. So you can get the blackwing dragon engraved that way, or you can get the Rusty engraved that way. I personally would say go ahead and, because blackwing dragon has 2 counters on it right now for the 2 burn effects that we've used, the Shamal and the Zephyros, he's sitting at 1,400 attack right now, which isn't really that great. So, but it also isn't going to really matter because of the Kali Yuga. So you can go ahead and tribute him in order to just bring the steam back, mostly just because you want him engraved to make the black-winged assault dragon on the follow-up turn. But then Borea Storm's still level 4 from when you sent the Sudri earlier. So you use him and a Sudri in order to go into Borreload Savage Dragon. And that's why you need to use the Rusty effect to pop the Whirlwind, because the Borreload Savage Dragon is going to need somewhere to equip the Y-Strix so that he has 2 counters on him. And then you can go ahead and activate the Raider's Wing in your graveyard to summon itself out by detaching off of the Arsenal Falcon. So now you are entirely set up. You have Borreload Savage Dragon with 2 counters as an Omni Negate to protect your rank up spell, which will turn Arsenal Falcon into Kali Yuga on your opponent's turn. As soon as it's their main phase and they start trying to do anything that could disrupt you, go ahead and just or you can go ahead and negate it with Savage just to kill it, because if the Savage ends their turn, you might not even need to go into Kali Yuga, which is great because then you Kali Yuga on your own turn. They can't activate anything on field, even if they set a bunch of cards, and then you can just go ahead and just start swinging. But yep, that's the first combo. You've got the entire board set up. You got Boral Savage with the Omni Negate to protect the rank up, and then on your opponent's turn you rank up into Kali Yuga, and from the second he hits field, including the rest of that chain, which was something that I had to explain to people, including the rest of that chain is going to be able to negate everything that would activate on field. If you need ways to explain to them how Kali Yuga works, just tell them if it activates on field, it's negated. If it activates in hand or in graveyard, it's fine. That is the simplest way to describe Kali Yuga. If it's on field, it's negated for the rest of the turn. If it's activating in hand or grave, it's fine. So yep, we'll go ahead and cover this, gather this all up, and we'll do another test hand. Alrighty, we're back in here with the stuff all gathered up and separated back into deck and extra deck. We're reshuffling and we're going to do a second test hand. This video is running kind of long. The fastest I've done that combo, it really is just entirely going to depend on how much extender you open. Like opening Simoon plus Whirlwind plus a bunch of extenders makes the combo a lot longer because there's much more that you can do out of it. But sometimes you just open Simoon and another Blackwing, and that's just basic combo. So the length of the combo is entirely going to depend on how you open your hand. I would say that in average, that combo can take about 8 minutes. I think is the fastest I've been able to go through the entire thing, with like getting hit with one Ash Blossom, or also it just depends on how much you have to stop and explain to your opponent what's going on. So different things like that will affect it, like in tournament, which is good that we have ways to burn for time, because sometimes my combo will take forever just because they need to learn or need to read all of my stuff so no one expects Blackwings, or I have to explain to them that yes, this card does exactly what it says it does. Like Vada, they're like, ain't no way that you're synchro summoning using monsters from the deck. I'm like, well, yeah. Against the Trap Tricks player, they were upset because they activated Dimension Barrier, but Vada doesn't count as synchro sum. Oh no, they didn't activate Dimension Barrier. They activated Spellbound. They used Spellbound on my board with Vada on it, but Vada's effect does not count as a synchro summon, which means those monsters aren't being used as synchro material, so we had to get a judge call for that. So stuff like that will make your turn take longer, and it can be annoying and force you into time. But honestly, if you go uninterrupted, or they just accept what's happening because they don't have that many interruptions, it doesn't take as long. So we'll go ahead and get into the second combo. We have a Gozen match, a Dark Ruler, Vada, Called By, and a Gale. I'm not gonna lie, this combo's looking kind of sus. I don't think we can do all that much with it. It very well may be you make Big Chungus and set to pass. Let's see what I can do. We'll go normal Vada, special Gale, Vada effect, and we'll send Chinook and Zephyros to the grave, which is fine. And when we do that, we're gonna make the black-winged dragon. So we have a 2800 dragon on field. Then we'll go ahead and use Zephyros's effect, return Gale, summon Zephyros, and then we'll go ahead and special summon Gale back out, and then we will honestly, that's not a good hand, but we're gonna make it work. So we'll take those two and we will turn it into a we'll go ahead and turn it into Rikery. And by turning it into Rikery, we'll be able to go ahead and just set these two and pass. So very, very simple board, but the Gozen match, depending on what you're going against, puts in a lot of work. And the Called By the Grave can also put in a lot of work. So really it's just going to depend on what you're going against. But Gozen match, do not sleep on that. It stops a very large portion of a lot of decks, especially if they go normal or special summon Unicorn before Fenrir and you hit them with Gozen. Shoo, they're dead. They won't be able to continue playing. Unicorn can't attack over either of these two monsters, and yeah, you'll be pretty much safe. And then you just go ahead and top deck into Shamal. Normal Shamal, Riker effect, pop their card, continue to continue to keep playing and just beat them from there. So yeah, that was a bad hand, but you can still make something out of it, which is what I like about this deck. It's very resilient. So let's go ahead and shuffle up again, and I'm tempted to pile shuffle so that I don't get another bad hand. We'll quick do it. But yep, again, this video is getting a little long, so this will be the last one for the night. If you want to see anything else, we'll just let me know in the comment section. Someone requested this. Someone requested the D-shifter build, and I'm not opposed to the D-shifter build. I have plans for it, but honestly, as long as Kashtira and other decks that are in the top meta that don't care about D-shifter exists, like if Cash doesn't get hit on this next ban list, then the D-shifter build isn't as optimal because it doesn't hurt. D-shifter doesn't hurt enough decks for me to play that as the competitive build. There's Conic Gaming's his new Bestial build that he released. I've messed around with that before. I enjoy that version, and then of course there's the stuff I've mentioned in the past, using the Core of Chaos in order to get Chaos Angel having both effects, going to Dispater easier, stuff like that. So a Chaos Blackwing deck featuring the Bestials is not out of the question. Especially with the new cards out of the last two sets that came out, being the Ida's Exceed Rebellion out of the Battle of Legends and the Qui-Built Blade Dragon out of Dune. Those are two very good cards that could be teched in very soon. But let's go ahead and get over the last opening combo. That's a good ass hand. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Yeah, Simoon, a Whirlwind, and another Blackwing. That's all you could ask for. But the small world to search for exactly what you want, and the prosperity. So usually when I get prosperity, I prosperity for 3, so I'll get rid of the Dragoon package, and since I'm going first, get rid of the Tinny. So, especially with this hand, you're just getting greedy doing prosperity for 3, and you get into combo pieces and Called by the Grave. We might as well take the Called by the Grave for the extra protection because we're searching the Shamal anyway. And then we just go activate, banish for costs. This will show you what happens when you don't have the Steam in hand, so that's kind of relevant. So we'll get that. We'll normal summon Simoon. Simoon triggers both Whirlwind, search for Sudri, and search for Gale. We'll go ahead and normal summon Sudri, chain 1, 2, 3. Same old song and dance, chain 2 and 3. We're going to search for less attack than him, so we'll go ahead and grab Chinook, we'll grab Vata, and we will grab Shamal. And we'll go ahead and use Shamal, dumping itself to grave in order to get the Black Feather Whirlwind straight from deck to field. So far we are sitting at a 2-card combo that has us with 5 cards on board, 1 banished, 1 engraved, and 6 cards in hand. Next we're going to go ahead and special summon the Vata, use the Vata, we'll send the Harmattan and the Zephyros as per usual. Zephyros, Harmattan. And that of course makes our Blackwing Dragon, that was same old song and dance that we've been doing. And then that's going to trigger the Feather Whirlwind, bring back the Vata. And to avoid Bestials, we'll go ahead and bring back the Vata from the banished pile. Next, we'll go ahead and use the Zephyros in Graveyard, bouncing this. Then Zephyros comes back. Even if it gets hit with Bestials, that's fine. We can make it work. We'll go ahead and reactivate the Feather Whirlwind. Do not forget that. We'll resynchro those two into a 6, making the Thung. The Thung and the Whirlwind and the Shamal will all trigger at the same time. Choose your chain links based on what you think they have and how you want to chain block. So normally I just go 1, 2, 3, but it really doesn't matter. It really just depends on what you think they have and how they could stop you. If you're worried about Ghost Bell, make Nathung Chainlink 1 or Chainlink 3. But we'll Shamal, add back Sudri, Feather Whirlwind, Special Summon Vada, Nathung, burn them for 800. Then we'll Synchro Summon Zephyros and Vada in order to make Boreas Storm. Boreas Storm, I'll put it here, is gonna go ahead and it's gonna Foolish Burial, and we're going to Foolish Burial the Steam the Cloak to the graveyard, so he becomes a level 3. Next, we're going to go ahead and we're going to normal summon the Sudri. Sudri chain 1, Whirlwinds chain 2 and 3. We'll go ahead and add the Sharnga. We'll add the, you're literally out of targets. You can only add Sharnga and Vada. And then the one that says Blackwing Dragon in its name, you can go ahead and search a copy of Shamal. You can search an Black Feather Whirlwind. It really doesn't matter. We'll go ahead and grab the Black Feather Whirlwind for simplicity's sake. If you're going second and you've already sided in the Blackbird Close or the Twin Shadow, then you can go ahead and search those. But right now we are sitting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards in hand, and we still have all of that on the field. Next we're going to go ahead and we're going to take these two, and we'll take these two. We'll go ahead and Synchro Summon into the 7. Synchro Summoning into Hawkjo. And this is what happened. This is the way you do it when you have Steam on the Steam in the graveyard. So we'll Synchro Summon those two into Hawkjo, and then on top of that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use these two to to Link Summon into Ystrix. Ystrix effect is going to go ahead and special summon you out a monster. It's a level 4 dark winged beast, and at this point it's going to depend on what you have in your hand. We're going to go ahead and summon out a Sudri, just remembering that you want to go for your non-tuner, then your tuner with the Arsenal Falcon. What we're going to do next is we're going to, you have multiple options. You can either use the Rusty for Steam's effect, or you can use the Blackwing Dragon for Steam's effect. Me personally, I think that you might as well go ahead and use the Rusty, or use the Savage Dragon for Steam's effect, just because it helps you get to that token, but it honestly does not matter. Most people do because we opened the double whirlwind again, we've got abundance of things that we can go into. So I actually say that you should go ahead and special summon Sharnga right now, just to go ahead and get it on the field, so that we can go ahead and use these two in order to make the Rusty. And now we have Sharnga engraved for its effect. And then we'll go ahead and use Rusty's effect, dumping the Raider's Wing and setting the rank up. And then we'll go ahead and use Steam's effect, tributing the black-winged dragon in order to bring itself back. And then we'll go ahead and synchro summon these two in order to make a 7. Well, we'll make the Rikery, and we'll also be able to make a level 1 token because of Steam's effect when he leaves the field. Whew, that is a very large combo. Did I not? That's why Prosperity is still in my hand. We used the Prosperity earlier. I was wondering why it was still in my hand. So we have 6 cards in hand right now. We can still activate a Feather Whirlwind if we really want to. We have that Whirlwind that's going to die to Simoon's effect, so we'll go ahead and use Hawkjoe's effect to revive a level 5 or higher winged beast. We're going to go ahead and revive back the... we'll revive back the... You really don't have to revive back anything, but just cause we'll go ahead and revive back the Nathung just to have body on board. If you had another level 7 in your extra deck you wanted to go into, you could also do that. But actually, we need 2 spaces on field, so you leave the Nathung in grave. I was just getting greedy. Go ahead and overlay these 2, and we'll make the Arsenal Falcon. Arsenal Falcon detach in order to summon the level 4 Darkwing Beast from your deck, which is going to be Shamal. Which, putting him back in grave is just going to be more follow-up for us on the next turn. Then we're going to go ahead and use the Raider's Wing, summoning itself out, and by detaching this, and then you go ahead and synchro summon these 2 into your Borreload Savage Dragon, which is going to hit field and equip your Wastrix onto itself, giving it 2 counters and Omni Negate once per turn. And of course, like I said earlier, just don't forget to, when you summon the Arsenal Falcon, use Rusty's effect to pop your pop the Whirlwind off of Simoon so you don't take that 1,000. But yeah, same board, just a tad bit different. You can go ahead and set the call by the grave if you want to. You have Chinook in hand as an extra. So this is your hand. You've got immediate follow-up. You've got Chinook in hand. You've got the Feather Whirlwind. So even if they clear this entire board, you've got Feather Whirlwind, ability to make the Arsenal Falcon out of by banishing the 2 from the grave, and then you've got monsters to follow up with, plus a hand trap. So yeah, you did that entire combo with 5 in hand, an Omni Negate, and the ability to rank up into Kali Yuga on your opponent's turn, which is a turn skip, auto win, whatever you want to call it. Plus you have the call by face down. You are in a great position. This video has gone on long enough, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up with like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you want to see next.